Hello, everyone. Welcome and a very good morning to Sir. Thank you for joining us today. We are pleased to present our comprehensive guide on residential rent or purchase agreement. So, first and foremost, we would like to introduce our team member, which is,
Hello, my name is Muhammad Rashadin bin Abdullah. My matrix number is 221302384.
uh, and my name is Muhammad Ifat Farooq bin Imran. My number metric is 2213022385.
My name is Muhammad Syamil Akmal bin Shabuddin and my number is 221302386.
My name is Khairul Izra bin Khairul Zaman and my matrix number are 2213023881.
And lastly is hi and assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Nabil bin Muhammad Helmi. My matrix number is 221302397. Okay, thank you.
So, the first one will be table of content. The first one, we will explain on you how what is legal agreement. So the second one will be identification of parties. The third one will be what is in a legal agreement. The fourth one will be punishment for breach. The fifth one will be common mistake to avoid. And lastly, the conclusion. So what is legal agreement? So a legal agreement is a contract between two or more parties that is enforceable by law. So the purpose for this agreement is to outline the rights and obligation of each party. The second one will be to provide a legal protection and clarity. Types of legal agreement. So we'll see there are two types of legal agreement, which is rental agreement, contract for leasing property. The second one will be purchase agreement, contract for buying property. So we will explain on the identification of party. So the first rental agreement, which is consists the landlord, the owner of the property. The second one will be the tenant, the individual or entity renting the property. So these are the purchase agreement. There are two people, which is buyer and the seller. So the buyer is the individual or entity purchasing the property. The seller will be the current owner of the property. So the middleman, which is us, the real estate agent or broker that facilitate the transaction between the buyer and seller or landlord and tenant. The second one, we will provide advertise, negotiate terms, and assist with legal documentation and ensure that all parties comply with relevant laws and regulation. So what is in legal agreement? We will explain our purpose and our scope. So the content will be define the overall purpose and scope of the agreement. So the objective are to outline the terms and conditions for the use of the premises for an event. The duration and location, which consists the specific time, dates, and location of the properties, and covered in description of activities during the agreement.
So other than that, we also have an event detail. So event detail is encompass all the information necessary for planning and executing an event. Key component included is like date and time for when the event will take place, location, where the event will be held, purpose for the goal of the reason or reason for the event, and last is attendee. So the list attendees is the list or type of people expected to attend. Oh, sorry. We also have an agenda and budget. So, which is agenda is a schedule of activities of program outline, and lastly, budget is the financial plan covering all expenses. After that, we have use of premises. So, use of premises refer to the manner in which a property is used or occupied, typically outlined in lease agreement or property contract. So, key point included is like firstly, permitted use. This is specifies the allowed activity such as residential, commercial, and industrial. Second is prohibited activities. So this is details activities that are not allowed on the premises. Next is maintenance responsibilities. This is the outline who is responsible for maintaining the property. Next is alteration and improvement. This is the sets guidelines for making changes or improvement to the property. And last but not least is compliance with laws. So this requires the use of the premises to comply with local laws and regulation. Next is rent and payment. So rent and payment is a financial terms of the agreement. This included the rent amount, which is the total cost for using the venue. We have a payment schedule in this section, which is this tell about when and how the payment should be made. Deposit requirement, so how amount the condition for deposit, then refund and the cancellation policy. So this is the terms for refund and cancellation. So next I will pass for my friends.
So for the event management responsibilities, event management responsibility involve coordinating and overseeing all aspects of an event to ensure its success. The key responsible includes planning and coordination, which is to develop event concept and timeline, or to coordinate with vendors and venues. Besides that, it also involves logistics, which is to arrange transportation and equipment, and also manage setup and permits. For the third one is the budget management, which is to prepare and track budget or to negotiate with suppliers. And the last one is marketing and promotion, which is implement marketing strategy, promote event, and distribute materials. For the participant obligation refers to responsibilities and duties outlined in a contract or agreement that individuals or entities must adhere. It includes performance, payment, confidential, compliance, notification, and indemnification. Performance refers to the fulfill contractual duties and responsible as agreed. Payment, on the other hand, provide financial compensation as specified in the agreement. Confidentiality protects and not disclose sensitivity of proprietary information. And the compliance adhere to all relevant laws, regulation, and contractual terms. Notification, on the other hand, inform the other party of any significant changes or issues affecting the contract. And the last one, indemnification, compensate for any losses or damage incurred due to breaches or specific risk. So for the next part, liability and indemnification. Liability refers to being legally responsible for something, which is personal liability, corporate liability, product liability, professional liability. While indemnification is an agreement where one party agrees to compensate another for certain losses or damage. It includes scopes, condition, and limitation, which is what can be lost and what can be recovered. When the indemnification applies, or the caps and or exclusion on indemnification.
So for the insurance requirements, most lenders will require you to have building insurance before you settle your home loan. This is because they want to protect the property so that it can cover the cost of your loan should the need arise. So if you are buying a property, you should factor the cost of the building insurance into your budget. Require insurance policies. So there are many types of insurance. So there are liability, property, and other example. So the coverage amounts is the minimum coverage required, proof of insurance, requirement to provide proof of insurance. For the dispute resolution is the process of resolving conflicts or disagreement between parties. It involves various methods to address and settle dispute without necessarily resorting to litigation. The method include negotiation, direct discussion between parties to reach a mutual agreement, mediation, a neutral third party, a mediator, facilitates discussions and help parties find a common solution. There are also arbitration, a neutral third party, an arbitrator makes a binding decision after hearing both sides. Next is the litigation, resolving disputes through the court system where a judge or jury make a legally binding decision. Next is the conciliation, similar to mediation, but the conciliator may actively propose solutions. Lastly, the expert determination. An expert provides a decision on a specific issues based on their specialized knowledge. So next is the termination and amendments. The contents term for ending or changing the agreement, condition for termination, circumstances under which the agreement can be terminated, amendment process, how changes to the agreement can be made, and lastly, notice periods, required notice for termination or amendments.
Okay, thank you to my fellow teammate. So moving on, signature and execution. There are four main aspects, which is content, the importance of formalizing an agreement. Number two is signature lines, spaces for all parties to sign. Third is date of execution, the date when the agreement is signed. And the last one is witnesses, requirement for witnesses if necessary. So next slide, which is the punishment for breach. Refers to if the agreements breach, all the consequences that both party will face is that financial penalties, late fees or interest on unpaid amounts, compensation for damages incurred by the non-breaching party, eviction, legal process to remove a tenant from the rental property due to non-compliance, forfeiture of deposit, landlord retains security deposit to cover unpaid rent or damages, legal action and court judgments, lawsuits leading to court orders for payment or enforcement of terms, potential for wage garnishment or property liens. Example scenarios: non-payment of rent leading to eviction and financial penalties, unauthorized alterations to property resulting in forfeiture of deposit and repair costs. So the common mistakes to avoid while agree on an agreement is rental agreements, not documenting all terms in writing, overlooking maintenance responsibilities, purchase agreements, ignoring financing contingencies, failing to conduct a thorough property inspection. So for the conclusion of our presentations, which is to understanding and carefully drafting legal agreements for home rent or purchase is crucial for ensuring protection and clarity for all parties involved. These agreements define the rights and obligations of the lessee, buyer, seller, and intermediaries, and include essential details like terms, conditions, and responsibilities. By knowing the potential consequences of breaches, such as financial penalties and legal actions, parties can better uphold their obligations and prevent disputes. Seeking legal advice and reviewing terms thoroughly can help ensure a smooth transaction. So looks like we've reached the end of our presentation. So me and my teams would like to say thank you very much for Sir Fairul, and thank you everyone for attending tonight's presentation. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You